5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay! I'm so glad you came back to the Being Tracy Show podcast. Today I have one of my favorite authors and someone that I know way back from when I lived in Naples, Florida and joined the Moms Club. This is Julie Satterfield Price, one of my great good friends here in Naples that I was able to, we reunited since we met, how many years ago, Julie?
32. Do I dare say?
32. Okay. And Julie, how did we meet?
Through the Moms Club of Naples.
And who founded the Moms Club of Naples, Julie?
Me.
Julie was the president. Julie founded it. And I'm telling you, this Moms Club was huge. I mean, Julie, did we have any rankings of how big that Moms Club got?
Yes, we did. We were ranked as the top overall club the first year we were started, and we were the only chapter in the whole U.S. And I'm talking 400, 500 chapters.
Do you know if it even still exists here? I haven't heard anything.
I believe so. I know in the first year we had so many members. We had to branch off into, I think, 3 chapters. It was phenomenal. But I had moved to Naples in 93, and I was 29 years old. I went to the grocery store, and I was the only person that didn't have gray hair. And I came home and cried. And I told my husband, I said, there are no families here.
In Naples.
In
Florida.
Naples. And
quite ironically, she was very wrong.
I was very wrong. But the one good thing he told me, he said, start a chapter. So I made contact with the national headquarters in California. I got all the paperwork, and then went to pediatrician's office, libraries, parks, anywhere I could put gyms. And oh my gosh, it was phenomenal.
I mean, it was really quite impressive. I think I found out about it right at the very beginning when I had my first daughter was maybe 2, and then my youngest daughter was a baby. And I went, and Julie was the president. She had a vice president, and it was all just perfectly circulated. And then as I had more and more kids, I had a play group for each kid. So then I had a Moms Club meeting every week. I had a play group for 4 other nights. And I think we had like a mom's night, like one of the nights. Like I had something to do every night of the week. My ex-husband, my father of my kids, the father of my kids, not my ex-husband, was a restaurateur. So he was in working all night, all days and all night. So I needed something to do. So what would you do? How would you direct somebody if they're at home right now watching this and they have kids? They need support. Mothers need support, right?
Definitely. I mean, I still have people coming up to me and telling me they have friends from back then. And you know what? I think that's why God puts us here in this world.
I think you're
we
right.
need to make a difference, and
everybody
not
needs,
for us personally.
Everybody needs somebody,
but we need
support.
To make a difference. And it touches my heart when people say, but yes, if you are a mother who is home, and you know it can wear on you, day in and day out.
For sure.
Contact your local library, the children's time, contact pediatrician's office. But the Moms Club, oh my gosh, I think it started in the early 80s. It's been around a long time.
This particular one, is there a sponsor of it? Or?
Well, there are now. I was given a notebook about so big with the guidelines on what we could and couldn't do. And you have to follow those or you'll have your chapter revoked.
Right. But who's like the founding fathers?
Oh my goodness, I don't even remember.
Or where should someone go? I would say Google. My daughter always uses me to Google.
Yes, because when we started it, we weren't Googling in 93. I did it snail mail.
Ask Suri. That's what my daughter tells me. Mom, just ask Suri if you need to know anything.
That's true. But it's labeled Moms, capital MOMS, Moms Offering Moms Support Club. And there are chapters not only in the United States but Canada and England too. So we also did charity events too.
Right. Well, anyway, I wanted to start with that. It was quite phenomenal. Okay, and so then Julie and I, of course, we did see each other at a couple of the Moms Club events, although we weren't really close friends during that time. And I don't think that we really reconnected again. Julie, was it until COVID?
No, because we connected. We met up at the gym.
Oh, we met at the gym here.
Do I
Here.
dare tell them what you said?
Okay, go ahead. You never know
Typical
what it-
Tracy. So we're on the treadmill talking because we'd been acquaintances at the Moms Club. And she looked around at me and she says, "Wow, you're really nice. I kind of always thought you were a snob."
Well, that sounds like something I don't know. That doesn't sound like anything I would say.
No,
does
but
it?
it was okay.
I mean, I just call them like I see them. I'm pretty honest about everything.
But
Always.
then we got reconnected and I got remarried, and Tracy was my bridesmaid at my second wedding.
And it was awesome.
And
That's right.
then we took a trip to Panama with our husbands.
Oh my
shortly
gosh, that's right.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, I
Uh-huh.
forgot all this stuff.
And we used to go boating.
Hmm.
So
We did. You're right.
and
Absolutely.
then we drifted apart because I went to the Carolinas, you went to Panama, and then you came and saw me in COVID.
Well, during COVID, I
Yeah.
had a problem from getting the flu vaccine, if you'll believe that, before COVID even hit. And my brother messaged me from Indiana and wished me like a happy holiday. And I said, "Oh, great! I was feeling all alone." And he said, "Tracy, you don't want to come up and visit?" And I said, "Oh, I'll only come up and visit if you fix my arm." And so then I went up there. I ended up staying like 3 weeks up there, and everybody was saying I was Typhoid Mary or like Typhoid Mary because I was flying all over the place like a jet setter during COVID. And one of the places I went on my way back was I stopped in South Carolina to see Julie and her husband there. And so you may return to South Carolina, you said.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm teaching at Florida Gulf Coast University and just loving Naples.
Well, now tell me about this. I was so surprised to hear that Julie, my good friend, turned into a professor, right? And then the next thing I find out, she's an author. I mean, she's like an award-winning author, right?
I've had some awards.
She's done pretty well for herself. Now, tell us about this first book that you wrote.
My first book, Daughters, Where Have All Our Daughters Gone? And it came about because I read some stories, real life news stories, about women and domestic violence. And what stunned me was I don't know why we have this stereotype that it's only in certain socioeconomic groups. But living here in we live a very privileged life.
For sure.
And it amazed me because I started doing work with the Naples Women's Shelter. And it was shocking at how many women from the upper income levels suffer from
Wow.
domestic violence. And it's almost like they're ashamed to talk about
Is
it.
that right?
And they hide it. They hide it behind the facade of their beautiful home, the beautiful pictures on their Christmas cards. Everything looks wonderful, and they are almost afraid to even go there. But many of them are living miserably. There was,
And they don't want to leave because that's
No.
their source of income.
and some of them
support.
are not just domestic violence, but it goes into financially that they are on a short string. One woman lived in this beautiful house, drove a $100,000 car, but she was on a short leash. She was tracked all over whenever she would go through Naples. She was tracked how much she would spend, and then it was almost like she was a prisoner.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
And but the women's shelter said it is something that is just never addressed. So this book is based on a lot of research, and I made a fictional story, and I did set it in Naples because I subsequently I devoted a portion of the profits to a charity to help, and it's in the back of the book to help women and children.
Awesome.
But I just felt like it was something that needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
And it always goes back to what was it, 1994, Nicole Brown Simpson. She looked like she led that privileged life.
Exactly.
And so, yes, it's a topic that's very sad, but one that I thought needed to be addressed.
Where can women go who might be in a situation like that to get help? Do you have any idea?
I would say start with a therapist. Find a qualified therapist that has knowledge in domestic violence, and be that your first avenue. But also, don't isolate yourself. Uh, that is a major thing. Don't isolate yourself from your family, from your friends. And if you can, make sure that you can be self sufficient. I think you and I both know how important that is. It's wonderful to be a stay at home mom, but you need something for yourself. And you know, if you stepped back from your education, try to go back and get your education.
Mm.
And it just, but I say a therapist, I think a good, solid therapist.
Is that what you did? You went back to school? Did you go back to school, or did you
Yes,
already
I
have
went-
your degree?
No, I had my degree, and then I went back and got my to graduate school. And so, yes, I did live through some domestic violence. And, you know, you've got to keep going. You've got your children, and you want your children to look up to you. And
Right.
don't want that to perpetuate itself. Well, there's that recent movie too. Have you seen that? It stops with us.
No, I haven't seen that.
And it is about, she's married to a doctor, and
Wow.
the girl finally, the wife finally says it stops with her and her daughter, and she left.
Wow.
And so, yes, and like I said, most of this, it's a fictional novel, but it's based on a collection of stories that I read about, of real people, and then I wove a fictional tale of a woman that is triumphant in the end.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, that's good to know, Julie. Now, that other book that you've written, and then I know you've got another book in printing right now.
Yes.
So is this a series of books you've got?
Okay, well, so my second one, Greengrass and High Times, but I want to go on to my third one. It does take a character from my second novel, and at this,
So they all kind of feed upon each other. Is that
only
right?
the second and third one, and it's a little bit of dark comedy.
Okay.
Because I will tell you, this woman, she's in her late 40s, she's widowed, and she's a well-known photographer, Bad Moon Rising, and she just wants to get away from Naples. Too many memories. So she buys this plantation house overlooking a river in Beaufort, South Carolina. Beaufort, South Carolina, between Savannah and Charleston, very sleepy, very, very old Southern manners. It's just, you don't deviate. But she goes there, and she's in this rambling house with 6 bedrooms by herself. Well, little by little, she has 4 girlfriends, and they all have just reasons to stay with her for a while. One brings her little dog, Honey, little Yorkie, and she juggles, I think, 6 different boyfriends at one time, but they all don't know about each other. Then another one is very, very religious, but she's always passing judgment on everybody. Another one is a lawyer, and she's having issues because her husband had an affair. And then another one, she's the one in the picture. She's a kleptomaniac. So
now tell me, what was your inspiration for all of these characters?
I don't know. I wanted to do something funny, but a little dark humor. And these women are good friends, but they're also very competitive. And they're also entering middle age, and they don't want to give up. They want to just keep so they run into problems,
Sure.
especially in this town that doesn't quite accept independent women.
Right.
So, but I've had so much fun with that one.
Oh, good. Now, so what is your motivation, your inspiration for these books and for sharing this message?
I don't know. The first one started off kind of as a message, and then I just got on to just storytelling because I love to tell a good story. When I was in high school, I won second in the state for a short story, and that just kind of gave me a push. But I get great joy out of a story, and the thing is, when I am in the writing mode, well, you were there during COVID. I was writing my second novel, and I just it's always there. If I'm drying my hair in the morning, I'll be thinking about a certain piece of dialogue, or in the middle of the night, and if I'm just ruminating on it. And if it comes to me, I'll get out a piece of paper on my nightstand. It's like, that's it. I'll type it up in the morning.
Right. Right.
So it's just when I have an afternoon, but there again, I can have a whole afternoon and say, I'm going to write. But if you're not inspired at that day, you've got writer's block.
So what made you want to write? Like, what made you, like, where did you get the idea that I got to get this started? I got to get this all on paper.
I just love reading. I have been an avid reader. You've been to my house. You know how many books I have. I just love to read. And I thought, I think I have some stories to share.
Yeah.
And, I hope to write a few more books, but I just, I get great joy out of it.
Now, tell me, so if someone else that's watching this right now, can you give anybody instruction on what they should do if they have a story in their head that they want to share?
Start out making some notes, maybe make an outline. Sometimes, I know this may sound strange, have your ending before you start your beginning, because that helps you formulate and move forward, and you can do foreshadowing. But if you know your ending, I think that is a great technique. But I think all of us have stories.
Yeah.
And granted, when we're young, we haven't lived yet, and I think it's living that helps us to do our stories. And I think you could write some phenomenal stories.
Well, funny you should say that. I'm actually writing a book right now, and I was going to put in the bio underneath the publisher that I'm working with, in case you all want to. I'll have a link down there. You can click. It's createultimateauthority.com is who I'm working with. That's Stephen Raposo is a chiropractor. Go figure that my family works with chiropractors. So he contacted me, and he's published one of my brother's books. My brother's written a bunch of books. My family,
That's right.
They're all writers too. So,
and your major was English, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly. Okay. And so I do also have, but I don't write down like book ideas. I write down jokes. That's what I write down, because my last podcast used to be kind of funny. So I've kind of stopped on writing. I have this dream of being a stand-up comedian. So I keep thinking maybe I'm going to be a stand-up comedian someday. So I write down jokes in my notes in my phone when they come up. Crazy stuff that happens to me. Being Tracy, right? But anyway, I'll also put in the blurb underneath an Amazon link, so you can get Julie's first book if you want, and her second book, and also Julie's website, so you can find out a little bit more about her and what she has to offer. Is there anything more that you want to add or talk about?
No, it's just I think our words, creating our words, can help and entertain, as you say.
Yeah, so exactly. Great. Well, I think with that being said, I want to make sure that I tell you, before I go to the real estate minute, I want to tell you to subscribe to our channel, like it. Please post your thoughts beneath this video of what you think. Share it, please. If you know of authors or people that want to start moms clubs, please share this video. We want to get it out there, and that's going to help us with the YouTube algorithm so more people come and see it. And anyway, right now I want to share what I've got going on in real estate right here in Naples, Florida. I've got an amazing house for sale. I don't know how much longer this is going to last, because we did just lower the price. It was $525,000. We lowered it to $499,500. And it has been completely renovated. It's over 1,500 square feet. So the main house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. In the backyard, it has a guest house. They turned the garage into a guest house. It has a full kitchen, bedroom, family room, and it actually has a tenant in the backyard. If you want to keep them, they're going to pay half your mortgage. It was $1,500 a month. So it's a great purchase for an investor, especially. Right here in Naples, Florida, 10 minutes away from the beaches and the restaurants. And I mean, what do you think about living here in Naples? We both come back. You see, that's how much we love living in Naples. We both came back. You can't keep us away from Naples. And I mean, what is the best thing about living here?
The weather, the opportunities, the culture, the beauty. There's just it has a lot to offer.
It definitely does. And favorite thing for me is just all the opportunities of great things to do. My favorite thing is to go to nice restaurants. I found another nice restaurant last night. I'm living in East Naples now. Geez, when I lived here before, I was in North Naples. So now in East Naples, geez, there are all these other restaurants I've never even heard of before. And there are also new restaurants in North Naples now again. So, I mean, there's a lot to do here. And so we love living here. And so if you want to consider moving to Naples, Florida, or anywhere in Florida, I'm a Florida realtor. My name is Tracy Bush Pate. My contact information will be also down below. But my number is 305-975-3404. My name is Tracy Bush Pate, and my email is beingtracy21@gmail.com. But anyway, that being said, I'm so glad you came and we were able to do this today, Julie. And I'm so glad that you're sharing the message of how to become an author, because we all have that story in our head, and we're all, I mean, and not a lot of us have confidence enough to go and. What did you do? Did you find a publisher first, or what did you do?
I wrote it, and ironically, my former husband, I'm not telling, bumped into a publisher.
That's how life works.
On a sidewalk during a parade, and he said, "Oh, my wife has written it," and they said, "Well, what's the premise?" and have her send it to us. Then 6 weeks later, I was signing a contract with the publisher. So you never know what's going to happen.
You never know. And now you're writing school books for the college campuses, right? I mean, you wonder who writes those textbooks for the college campuses. Do you think they're as beautiful as this woman? I'm not sure. I never imagined that, but here we go. This woman is writing now textbooks as well. So it's I got a pretty impressive friend over here. I had to introduce her to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate this opportunity to meet everybody and to reconnect again. So
it's awesome. Thank you. I love you so much. Thanks for coming.
All right.
Guys, thanks for being here today, and we hope to see you again next week. And don't forget to post your thoughts below, and if you have any questions, we'll get you the answers. And we're going to be here again next Friday, same time, same channel on YouTube. Bye-bye.
Bye.